Welcome back to Cubby Chase Farm. I appreciate you watching. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do that. It helps the farm, helps the channel. Well, this is the day we're going to move the Cornish Cross chickens that have been in the brooder here for the past 3 weeks. They're about 2 days older, over 3 weeks. We're going to move them into pasture. What's interesting about this move is I already have 200 Freedom Ranger chickens that are 6 weeks old today on pasture. So we're going to move these guys in with the older birds and we'll get a look at them. And then for the next 3 weeks, we will get to see a comparison of the two different breeds on pasture. If you haven't subscribed, you probably want to do that. Turn on notifications. I think the next couple of videos will be pretty interesting, especially for those of you all that are raising chickens, particularly on pasture, as we get to see a Freedom Ranger and a Cornish Cross side by side. I may have mentioned before, but my major winter project is to double, triple the size of my brooder. But I'm going to build it on a hay wagon to where I can pull it into the pasture, open the back, have a ramp down, and then release all the birds out on the pasture that way, rather than having to do it by hand. You're catching them up, loading them into a bin, and then transporting them up into the field. All right, here's a Cornish Cross rooster. You can see the tome and the red wattles. Other thing I want you to look at before I show you the Cornish Cross, other than right here, these birds at 6 weeks old are pretty much feathered out. They will get a few more, it will get a little thicker. This rooster weighed 3.5 pounds right now at 6 weeks. Good sized bird, extremely healthy. I really like these Freedom Rangers. You see them behind me, they really range quite a bit. Here's a Cornish Cross. I can't tell if it's a rooster or not. I feel like it is. Again, this bird here is a couple of days over 3 weeks. It did weigh just under 2 pounds. You'll notice that the Cornish Cross, it's definitely, you know, it's a few weeks younger, but it does not have nearly the feathers. And I would say even at the same age, a Freedom Ranger develops feathers quite a bit faster. When you first put any of these chickens on the pasture, especially if you've seen my videos, you've seen this and I've explained it. It takes them a while, and by a while I mean a couple of days, before they start getting comfortable and they start ranging out. Right now, these chickens here, these Cornish Cross, are not going to move around much further than where they're at. So I need to make sure that the feed and a waterer is close by. And then from there, I just need to watch these Freedom Rangers to see whether or not they try to bully these smaller chickens. It's about 6 o'clock. They've been out for a couple hours now. I have moved another little trailer in here and their waterer and feeder that they're more used to for right now. Well, we're back up here at the paddock. Cornish Cross chicks made it through the night. This was the coldest night that we will have here for the next 4 days. You'll notice, you probably can't tell it on the camera, there is a little bit of frost out. I came up here around 11 o'clock last night, and this is basically where they were at. so they've not moved very far. There's some under the trailer. You see some Freedom Rangers here. I expect today they'll start getting a little bit more acclimated and start ranging out. You see the Freedom Rangers, they're already up and out and feeding. They know the sun will be coming up and hitting this, and they're going to warm up here pretty quickly. 11 o'clock update. The birds are starting to move. The Cornish Cross. This is what I expect. I expect them to continue to get more active as they get acclimated. Definitely the sun's out. It's now the evening. The sun's setting. It's about 6:30, 6:45. The chicks have been on pasture now for about 30 hours. Here's where we're at this point. They did start getting up, moving around this afternoon, as you saw. They're around their feeders. I have moved the trailer, their water out. I reset all the covers. I move them once a day further down this paddock. For the Freedom Rangers, water lined up right here, covers, and then feeders. I'm going to show you in another video my new range feeders with a cover for rain. But they are doing exactly what I would have expected, which is getting acclimated and starting to figure this out. The Freedom Rangers, you see some here or some coming right now. They haven't messed with them too bad. Like all herd animals, there is a pecking order. So some of these, there's a rooster coming. They've established some dominance. I do have them a bit separated here. I think there's the Cornish Cross get a little more acclimated. I bet by tomorrow they'll be even better. At this point, it's been about 3.5 days since I put the Cornish Cross chicks out here on the pasture. You can see they're now getting a lot more comfortable. They're moving around. I have made my paddock move for the night. I'm almost to the end here. There has been some pecking order going on with the Freedom Rangers, but I really haven't had a whole lot of bullying. The issue I have, though, is the Freedom Rangers are moving a lot faster than the Cornish Cross. They're ready to be moving forward. You see how far I have all my waterers. All the feeders are down there. Waterers are all the way up here. The Freedom Rangers are just getting out and covering a lot more ground, but I'm having to keep a lot of things close for the Cornish Cross chicks at this point. I think what I'm going to do is, as I move these Freedom Rangers up into the next paddock, I'm going to go ahead and move these Cornish Cross and leave them in this side of the paddock, along with the trailer, at least for a few more days, where they can get to the point that they're foraging and moving out a little further. Well, I appreciate you following along on my farm journey. You can find out more about the farm at www.tubbychasefarm.com. I hope everyone has a great week.